Hey guys, this is Mark Rodriguez here.
And Paige.
And you're watching Mark and Paige at the movies. And we just watched X-Men Days of Future Past this past weekend. And here's our general thoughts and reviews. And of course, before we go too deep into it, just remind you that this review might have heavy spoilers. So if you guys haven't seen the movie yet...
Heavy spoiler, man.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen it yet, then you have been warned. So, let me just say real quickly, the general plot about this movie is that in some future, the Sentinels, those giant robots from the X-Men that you've probably seen in comics and cartoons, have basically killed almost everything, and there's a few X-Men left, but they know...
Humans and mutants alike.
Humans and mutants alike. But these are like super Sentinels that can adapt to no matter what mutant power you have and everything.
And these Sentinels, when they had like the powers where they could open like their faces and whatever, split their faces, and the ray comes out, it made me think of the Destroyer from Thor.
Yeah.
I kept thinking of that whenever it would like open his face up.
Exactly.
I don't know how to describe that.
Well, the main thing is that the X-Men found out that this all started way back in the 70s, because apparently Trask...
1973.
1973. It's always important to be precise. When this person named Trask designed the Sentinels...
Who plays the guy in Game of Thrones.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Okay, well, the guy... Anyways, Trask designs the Sentinels, and Mystique finds him and kills him, but unfortunately, this leads to Mystique being captured, and...
leads to more events that she hoped she would stop. She kills a guy, they capture her, they thought there might be more mutants out, so mutants out there that can kill them. I mean, kill humans, so they must actually use the Sentinels. Sentinels?
Yeah, the Sentinels. And now with her DNA.
And since they got her, they torture... I don't know if they torture her.
Well, I bet they would.
And they take her blood and use the blood to be able to make the machines adapt. So that's how they got stronger, because of Mystique's mistake. Her decision changed the future.
Exactly. So what they do is that Kitty Pryde has the ability, this made-up ability, to send people's, I guess, consciousness back into their younger selves. So since apparently... I guess it'll mess you up, because you can do it like for a few weeks or something, or days.
She can only send you back days or weeks, but if she can send you back years, but it'll mess up your brain.
Yes, so Wolverine, of course, is the only one that can heal, so they send Wolverine back to the 70s into his younger body, and it's his job to find wherever Xavier is in that point in time, and find wherever Magneto is in that point in time, to work together to find and stop Mystique, so that she doesn't kill Trask, so that this whole evil future doesn't happen. And that's like the basic general plot. And in a way, this movie feels more like a sequel to X-Men First Class, because it deals a lot with what happened after that movie, and the people and where they are, and stuff like that. And yes, it brings back all the actors, that's a big thing, and of course Hugh Jackman is Wolverine again, and we have like the same girl, I think Ellen Page is back as Kitty Pryde, and Halle Berry is Storm, then of course from the older cast, well, you know, Patrick Stewart is... Well, let me get that real quickly. Patrick Stewart is Professor Xavier. Ian McKellen is Magneto, the old Magneto. And then now when we go back to the younger version, like you said...
Jennifer Lawrence is Mystique. And everybody else I don't know.
Yeah, the actors, I don't remember their names, but the actors that played Xavier, the younger Xavier, the younger Magneto, and the younger Beast from X-Men First Class, they're all back to play all the roles. So it's like a big all-star cast, combining the characters from the modern X-Men movies and the...
Another thing about the past 1973 version of Professor X is he gave up on everything. He's like how he calls himself. He said, I'm not what I used... I wasn't like how I am now. He kind of gave up everything for him that was positive in his life was going on, like Mystique, Raven... left, and then Magneto or Eric betrayed him. He lost his legs, and he used to have a school, and then because the war happened, Vietnam War, he lost all his teachers and
all the students,
and all the voices in his head.
Yes, because now he's taking these drugs or something that takes away his mutant powers.
He's a druggie, man.
Yes, I know.
Drugs,
so
man.
he doesn't have his mutant powers anymore, but in exchange for that, he can now walk because.
That
I don't know
me.
why.
Whenever they first showed that, I was confused because Beast also, whatever his real name, Beast.
Hank McCoy, yeah.
Hank was taking the same medicine to stop his powers or hide his furriness, and obviously Xavier is trying to walk again and eliminate the voices in his head so he doesn't have any telepathy powers when he's on these drugs.
Yes. And of course, Wolverine has to convince Xavier to like move on with his life and adapt and just get back into it because we need the classic Xavier back for a situation. And in Magneto's case, he's in the Pentagon. He's locked away because apparently in the movie version, he's the one responsible for assassinating JFK and everything. So,
but I kind of don't want to ruin that too much.
Yes, but they have to go get him out. And of course, for people that already know about the trailers and stuff, we got Quicksilver in the movie.
Oh, and Scarlet Witch was earlier. Was that Scarlet Witch?
No, I don't think she was in the movie.
Oh, then who was that girl that was shooting?
I
kept thinking of Portal because she kept using her powers to make portal holes.
Yeah,
I kept thinking
she's a girl named Blink from the future.
Blink.
Mm-hmm.
Blink.
I know that's her name. I don't know what's
Blink.
Yes, I don't know if that's her mutant name or real name or both, but she's Blink, and she was doing portals.
I don't know. Are you running out of names? I have to be like,
Well, that's
I'm
in the
blinking
comics.
my eyes.
That's in the comics.
So,
what do we do?
let's call the person Blink.
Exactly. Well, we'll get to the future mutants in a bit, but yes, Wolverine finds Quicksilver. I thought that was kind of like just out of nowhere. Oh yeah, I know a guy. He'll be younger now, but it's just so random that I guess Wolverine already knew Quicksilver, whatever. So they get him to help out to rescue Magneto, and of course Quicksilver was pretty cool. And well, first of all, I gotta admit, I was pissed off first when he first came out because I thought they were just gonna make him like this completely different person that's not related to Magneto in any way. And I'm like, oh fuck you, movie, fuck you for messing that up. Especially since they did share a lot of screen time together. But then they did a little extra scene where he finds out that Magneto can move metal, and he's like, that's weird. My mother knew a guy that could move metal and stuff. So that kind of fixed it.
Small reference. It is a small reference, yes.
I know.
Well, I don't think he was like. If you're not a fan of the comics, then you would never know that they're supposed to be son and father and son. So if he never told me, I would never have known that.
But the past X-Men movies have done so many things where they ignore or skip things. So it was nice that they at least kept this part.
That's more like a joke. I wonder who's that actor. I don't even know.
I don't know his name. But, so, lots of stuff. They get together, they work together eventually, and it's hard to find Mystique. And then Magneto, of course, takes it too far because first he wants to just flat out kill Mystique to make sure nothing happens. And then...
Well, they don't reveal that until they actually find her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when they explain all the history and stuff. And, of course, the Sentinels are being made and everything. And yeah, it's interesting. I was confused. I don't know in other words, it's just weird how they got an actor that's, like how we say, little person.
Why does it matter?
I was just confused because in the comic book version,
he's a good actor, even though I don't watch Game of Thrones.
I know. I was just a little confused by just random decision to choose that person to play Trask, but okay, But,
he was good.
Yeah, he was a good.
But the 70s mustache is not good for him.
I know. And well, as for the more future mutants, we do see Storm back again. We do see Magneto.
And Blink.
And we see Blink. And Iceman, Colossus. Hey, Colossus did something now. Whoa! Like X-Men 3, he was just there to be there, and he was even part of the final fight, and they would rarely show him doing anything.
What part was he in?
The final battle.
Oh, I want.
You see, you didn't forget because he was barely in it, But this one, he actually.
I was thinking he was like that defending the house.
Yeah.
You remember with Juggernaut? Magneto said not to let anybody in. I don't know.
No, he wasn't there in that scene. He was just mostly in the end. But you see, in this movie, we actually see Colossus. He actually does stuff. He sees some decent fight scenes, so that he's an actual character in the movie this time. So that was pretty good for Colossus fans. And of course, Kitty was there. Kitty's like the main character.
Since you brought Kitty up, whenever she transports someone's mind, you can't think negative thoughts. So I guess that brings you back and brings you back from wherever you were. And if you come back from that point on, whatever you change in the history is what it is. You can't. I guess that's she explained.
Yeah.
If you come back, if you wake up, your real body wakes up. Whatever you change in history is going to remain like that. And then Wolverine is going to be the only one to remember what happened in the last 50 years.
Exactly. That would be interesting. And, well, basically, I don't know how much we can give away without spoilers. Just say the whole big epic final battle was super awesome. And I guess one thing I do want to say, I'll just say it anyway, is because you know how these movies are always all about Wolverine and everything. It just feels like Wolverine and these other guys and stuff like that and everything. I made a joke back then when they made the Wolverine movie, and everyone's like, ooh, I want to see the Wolverine movie. I'm like, what, you didn't see the last three? That kind of thing, because the action films felt like Wolverine movies more than anything. At least in this movie, the big final, for the most part, the big final act didn't really have much of him in it. So it's good because, let's give Xavier, Mystique, Magneto, let's give them all a chance to do something. It doesn't always have to be Wolverine to save the day and everything. So I'm glad that the whole big final part didn't have too much of him in it to really go through. And, that's basically the thing I want to say. But one thing I do also want to add for the movie is
Hugh Jackman's ass.
Yes, I guess. Anyways... Yes, even Gurix Dali was saying thank you for that scene. But anyways, one thing I do want to say about this movie that is very weird is the way it contradicts what we saw at the end of The Wolverine. Because it's just so weird. I mean, I guess it felt like a wannabe traitor. For those people, I mean, it's already out now, and this movie's already out. That's not a spoiler. But at the final scene of The Wolverine, Wolverine was in the airport, and he met with Professor Xavier and Magneto, and he told them that we need your help for the future and whatever. And of course, that's supposed to be the big thing that leads up to this movie. But it doesn't really make sense because that took place in present day. And this movie, right off the bat, it always starts off in the future with all the sandals tilting everything. They didn't have Wolverine's help or anything. I mean, Kitty was talking that stuff. Wolverine volunteered to go, but it wasn't like they called him in. So that doesn't really, it just conflicts with it. It's weird. And then another thing is that the movie made such a big deal out of the Silver Samurai cutting off Wolverine's adamantium claws so he would have his bone claws again. Because everybody was in the theater, they were kind of like, yeah, man, he's going to have the bone claws in the next movie. But then, when you see this movie in the future, Wolverine somehow had his adamantium claws back anyway. Don't know how you get that back. And when he went back to his younger body, he did have the bone claws, but he didn't have them because the Silver Samurai broke them. He had them because it was like his younger self before he ever had the adamantium in the first place. So, that was weird. That was very strange.
Plot hole.
Yeah, weird plot holes.
And the whole back to the future, forward to the future, them asking for his help. It was fine. Japan was fine. He was coming out of the airport or wherever he was. I joked with Mark about it, saying geez, Japan must be perfectly fine while all the rest of the world is screwed from the Sentinels. Japan must be protected by something.
And that was so weird. When I first saw the Sentinels, I was like, that's not how they are. They change and adapt and whatever. That was something new. That's something new to me for the movie. And yeah, it was cool because in one way, it makes the future look more dangerous, and of course, for the fans that complain, we did get the more classic Sentinels in the 70s fight, so it was interesting, though. But
even that looked still so futuristic for the 70s technology.
Yeah, We didn't have DVD players in the 70s, but we did have giant robots. Only I do want to say also, in the ending scene, of course, like most people have predicted, yes, this movie did fix most of the mistakes of all the past movies. All the horrible things that happened in X-Men 3: The Last Stand were fixed in this movie. So there's a perfect excuse if you want to make another X-Men movie. Now
they are.
Yes, they have all the cast back and everything. And yes, the next movie is the Apocalypse movie.
And you have to wait completely to the end of the credits.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a mid-credit thing. It's a end of the credits.
At the very end of everything. But yeah, we'll see what happens in the next movie. But I also gotta say, oh god, it was horrible seeing how most of the characters from from First Class were either killed or tortured in between the movies. So like
they even have like angels' wings.
Ripped off wings. Like, oh god.
Because like in Collection of the Pentagon, it's like Magneto's helmet, Angel's wings, and I don't know if there's something
like Havoc's armor thing.
Oh yeah, his little cannon thing.
Yeah. So anyways, our general thoughts on the movie, I gotta say, this was actually a very good movie. I was ready to kind of, I guess, roll my eyes at the screw-ups and weird things, but they did a very good job with the movie. I really liked it, and I dare say this is probably the best of the X-Men movies that they've made to this point. It was pretty good, a lot of fun, a lot of characters. Like I said, Wolverine didn't hog too much of the spotlight. I mean, Magneto was still badass and everything. The old and new characters in there. It was a pretty good story. Yes, Blink was there too.
Blink?
Yes. It was a very good story, and Sentinels were awesome. People were joking about like, oh, the budget is so small that I bet you like the little scenes in the trailer, that's probably all you're gonna see of them. But no, they actually did of the Sentinels. People were acting like, oh, they can't afford it. Oh, the little scene in the trailer, that's probably all you're gonna see of them or something. But no, I mean we actually got to see them.
Low budget? They thought there was gonna be a low budget?
For the Sentinels, at least. He was complaining about it and whatever.
That's supposed to be like the essential part of the whole movie.
I know, exactly.
So they wouldn't go cheap budget here and then Hugh Jackman's butt massager who has the biggest budget must get the butt cheeks perfect.
Okay, enough. But anyways, I'll be the
girls need it. We need to get the girls into the show.
Okay. Anyways,
butt massager.
Okay, but anyways, there was a good movie. It was a good movie. It was a great movie. I really like it. If you're any fan of the X-Men at all in the comic book versions, and if you're a fan of, I guess, the older movies, or they didn't bother you too much, or you're kind of like upset with the movies and you're hoping this one's actually good, this one is actually good. So check it out and watch it. So far, I think this is even better than Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I don't know.
But anyways, what do you think? Good, bad?
It was good. Honestly, I never really cared for the X-Men movies. I never really watched them. I would watch segments here and there from like whenever FX plays them. At first it confused me, some things confused me.
Mm-hmm.
But they did explain, like, when it came to Professor X's legs, how they got better and how Beast was normal again. What else was confusing me? I don't know. Still a good movie. It had its action. It had its funny humor jokes. Not major, but it had its ha-ha moments. It had Hugh Jackman's butt.
Mm-hmm.
His delicious butt.
Okay, advance, please.
Why? You jealous of his butt?
Okay, what else is there?
Jackman's naked chest.
Mm-hmm.
Which he didn't show to me. Honestly, I don't care about that stuff. Anyway, it's cute and all, but it's good to see. Everybody always said that, like, this movie will explain a lot of the other stuff from other movies. So the only thing I remember, all the stuff from, like, what happened in X-Men 2 and, like, what he told me, like...
X-Men 3, the last thing.
Like, about all the things, all the people died, and now they're back. So, I don't know. I'm just babbling on and on. But I like the movie. If you were never really a fan of the X-Men movies, this is a good movie to start into.
Yeah, it's basically like a clean slate because they basically fixed everything. So you could probably basically start watching them now, I guess, if you didn't like the other ones.
And I was confused at the beginning how it's already destroyed.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, that's the bottom line for the movie, guys. It's a lot of fun. It's pretty cool. We love the action and everything. And yeah, it's recommended. Highly recommend it. One of probably the best movies in the summer so far. Until we get other things like maybe Guardians of the Galaxy or other movies coming out. So anyways, guys, like we said, it's a good movie. It's worth watching. So just be sure to check it out. And this has been Mark and Paige at the movies. This is Mark Rodriguez here.
Creeper!
Creeper Paige. And we'll be seeing you at the movies.
Hugh Jackman's ass.